everyone, welcome to my channel, The Magical Maven. My name is Heather, and today is a general reading for the sign of Scorpio for December 2019, or whenever you're watching this, as this is a timeless reading. So with this spread, there's one card for each of the 12 houses and in astrology, and I do have a clarification card for each using the Gilded Tarot. I have your card in the middle, Scorpio. And this is a reading for whether it's your sun, moon, Venus, or rising in Scorpio. So I advised for you to check out your other placements as well. These are general readings. So with collective readings, not everything I say might apply to your situation. So just take what does and leave the rest behind. But you will want to look at your other placements because one of those videos could maybe make more sense to you, or you'll get more of a well-rounded idea. Also, I did pull a few oracle cards from the tea leaf reading cards and the Blessed Bee oracle cards. Also, anything that kind of comes up that still has left to be unanswered or common themes, I'll go over into the extended reading, which you could purchase. I will put the details in the description box below. I'll be using the Gilded Tarot again, as well as the oracle cards, the Heal Yourself cards, Magical Mermaids and Dolphins, Angel Answers, and Romance Angels. Okay, so jumping in. Oh, and just to let you know as well, I have all the cards facing me, and once I move on to each house, I will move the card towards you and the camera. I don't read reversals, I just go by intuition. Okay, so your first house is the King of Pentacles, clarified by the Two of Wands. So what I was getting from this was, first I was hearing the Led Zeppelin song, Stairway to Heaven. You know, the line where there are two paths you could go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. And then also I was getting that Robert Frost poem about, you know, there was two paths and I took the road less traveled. So some of you, since this is the first house of the zodiac, which represents the self, some of you with this King of Pentacle energy, you know, whether you're a female or male watching, the King of Pentacles, you know, your energy, and even though Scorpio is a water sign, and Pentacles is more resonate with the earth, this is just maybe you're taking a more grounded approach, more rooted in logic and the thinking mind and which way to take. So some of you might have a decision to make and you're wondering, you know, should I take the road that is easier? Should I take the road that is more logical, more practical? And some of you might be struggling because maybe you know on the other side of this, the other road, the one less traveled, is the one that maybe is the one you need to take, even though it maybe doesn't make much sense to you and you're trying to be more practical minded. So again, you'll have to just take what resonates. Some of you might be already taking this road less traveled, but you could maybe be in your head about, oh, did I do the wrong thing? Some of you might have taken the other road, the easier route, and maybe are wondering, should I have taken the other one? But again, going back to the Led Zeppelin song, there's still time to change the road you're on. So it's up to you whether or not you want to keep going down the road you're headed, or you want to maybe, you know, move over to the next lane is what I'm getting. So again, take what resonates. Your second house, representing your finances, worth, we have the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups. Okay, so even though finances and worth, the worth could also be self-worth or what you find worthy. Because with the Cups energy of emotion, this is more something that you are tied to heart, you know, tied to your heart. So some of you might, okay, I'm hearing one scenario could be some of you want to get back together with someone from your past, possibly. A possible soulmate connection. Again, take what resonates. It's not for everybody. And maybe you are trying to, oh, I'm getting builds like long-term standing and success because you're wanting that profit, sorry. So you could create, if you're wanting, you know, to, you know, get married, you know, move in together, possibly have a family. Again, not everyone has to stick to that conventional way of living. You know, I'm not saying that anyone needs to get married or have kids. It's totally up what you feel is right for you. But I'm definitely getting that this is more tied to what you're wanting in the long term and connected to your heart and a partnership. And we'll look deeper into that in the extended, and the reason why I said it was a past energy with that Six of Cups. Okay, and I'm getting, yeah, for some of you it's a longing. So if this isn't a past person, if this is just something you're wanting to obtain in the future, it's just this ideal that maybe you've always had, maybe even since you were young. And maybe some of you feel like you need to have your roots first, maybe regarding this, financial stability and support before you could have this. And again, take what resonates. The third house of communications, we have the Knight of Wands and the Five of Swords. I was getting something about swooping in and saving the day. Also, I'm getting about something being televised, which is weird. That was just something that came to me. And again, that take what resonates, because I don't think that's going to be for everybody, but something about even some clear-cut truth. Because the Wands energy, this is fire energy, so this is more fast-moving. However, in this card, he doesn't look like he's charging in. And then with the Five of Swords here, sometimes people say this is the card of defeat. However, he looks pretty victorious in this. He has all the swords, there's the light coming out, and everyone else is on the ground, but he looks victorious. So some of you, this even could have been about some kind of drama. So if it doesn't resonate with you with the televised, there could be something where it was something out in the open that had occurred or happened. But ultimately, I feel like you got the better end of things. And I'm getting for some of you, maybe the other person was the one that I'm getting something about they should have bit their tongue, meaning they should have held back, and maybe you did, and this is where you were the victorious one. And I'm getting for some of you, you gained clarity. Oh, and also I want to mention too, with the things that are coming up, whether this is past, present, future, just take what resonates. But again, yeah, I think there's different scenarios there. So you'll just have to take if that resonates with you. But again, there could have been some kind of drama, some situation, but it looks like you're victorious as long as you are holding back from, I'm getting a bitter tongue even. And maybe the other person is the one that's looking kind of stupid. And I mean, also getting for some of you could be remorseful. Okay, the fourth house of home and family, we have the King of Cups and the Page of Cups. Okay, so a couple different scenarios. So the King of Cups, cups and water, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So this could be very well your own energy, whether you're male or female. The king doesn't have to just be a male. So some of you could have been like what I talked about with this possible person from the past. It's maybe you were reaching out to them, you're contacting them, or even reaching out to a newcomer. And it's weird, I just got the word newcomer. So take what resonates, but for some of you might be wanting to extend an offer, whether that's even just as simple as an invite or a date. Also, another scenario was that maybe some of you, if you had lost contact with someone within your family, maybe a reconnection, maybe you haven't heard from them in a while. But again, it could be maybe more so on you. So again, take what resonates. And I'm also hearing reaching into the unknown. So whether this is whoever you're reaching out to, if this is a family situation or a romantic situation, don't let the fear of the unknown stop you, because that was something that was coming through. So we have the fifth house, which deals with casual romance, dating, children, creativity. You have the Star and the King of Wands. And I'm hearing you're ready to reap what you sow. So with the Star card, I'm getting wishes manifesting, but also the Star card sometimes could be a card of healing. So, I'm getting for some of you, this could be a past trauma. So whether this was a male or this was a woman with like heavy fire in her chart or had more of a masculine energy, there could be some kind of healing or closure. And sometimes closure, it's not dependent on the other person. Sometimes you just need to have that closure on your own and do that inner healing. And when it comes, if this regards to dating and romance, I was getting something about settling down again. So even though this is the 5th house of casual romance and dating, this could possibly someone that you start, dating, that someone that you've been wanting to date, or, manifesting in this passionate new beginning. And it's about what you had manifested, what you've wanted, but it's in like the beginning stages is something I'm getting. And if this is regarding your creativity, I was getting something about like power to the pen, which is, I don't know, I know it's weird. But for those of you who are creative, if you do anything when you have to write things down, there might be some newfound inspiration that is coming through that you could be channeling, and you might start feeling really passionate to get all this written down. So even if you don't do anything in writing, it could be something where you're writing your ideas down. And again, powerful manifestation here. Okay, then we have the 6th house of work and routine and health. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. I did it for some of you. I heard dodged a bullet. So take what resonates from that situation. So maybe some of you, whether this is regarding your work, you bypassed a certain work situation, you got out of there in time. For whatever reason, for some of you, this could have been like a collapse possibly of a company or position, or, maybe you just knew when to get out, whether that was taking another offer. For some of you, even getting headway in another opportunity or job or situation. If this is regarding your health, again, I'm getting some about mental clarity for some of you. And you chose to do what was right by you and walk away. And this has impacted your health and wellness and your reasoning, and that you've wisened up. So again, take what resonates. It's because everyone's going to have a different situation. And it's interesting, you had both the King and Queen of Pentacles here. Okay, the 7th house of partnerships, marriage, relationships. You have the 7 of Pentacles and the Sun. So again, like what I said, for some of you, maybe you're really wanting to settle down, whether this is someone from your past or this is someone new that you are wanting to attract and manifest and pull in the future. But for some of you, this is just like you are in whether the early stages or even if you've known them, it's like you are wanting to take your time. And I'm hearing blissfully simple. So maybe with this person or the person you're wanting to bring in, you're like, I just want a relationship where I'm happy. It's, not complicated. I love them, I trust them, I respect them. It's just happy and it's simple. Or why can't it be that simple? So again, take what resonates. Okay, so the 8th house of sex, death, taxes, inheritances, occult. So it's interesting because you had the 7 of Swords and Libra actually got the same card in the same house, the 8th house. So if you do have Libra in your chart or on the cusp of Libra, Scorpio, you'll want to probably watch that reading, because I did shuffle these cards between each of the signs, and this is the one that came out in the exact same placement. I don't remember what was the no, I think there was a different clarification card. And I don't remember exactly what I said because I shot it a few days ago. And so again, you'll just have to check it out. And, you know, regardless, I mean, with doing so many readings, I'll forget a lot of what I said, and then I'll watch it later. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that now. So you have the Ace of Cups. So for some of you, this could have been with what I said about the blissfully simple, because your 7th house, I was getting more of a romantic vibe. And because the 7th house with partnerships, you know, that could be a business partnership even, but I was getting more of like a romantic vibe when I came across that. So here, maybe you've been deceived in the past. You know, you had this, I'm getting for some of you could have had a poor choice in partners as in plural, and you've just taken a step back and maybe you saw that clarity and truth. And that could even be maybe some of what we're getting over here regarding your health. And now that you were away from that, you're just wanting this newfound love, the Ace of Cups. And this newfound love could even be within yourself, because obviously you don't want to be dependent on anyone else to make you happy or to give you love. You know, you should have love for yourself. You should be in balance within yourself. You know, you should be able to give to yourself first before you give to anyone else. And maybe some of you have come to this understanding and realization, and you're working on this because you don't want to get in any of these past situations, which can make sense with what I said. You want something blissfully simple. You don't want it to be so, you know, complex. And I'm not saying that complex is always a bad thing, but I think maybe where you've been, it has. And so whether this person was actually, you know, purposely deceitful or they were just lying to themselves, because there's a difference between someone who means to lie and who's just a liar flat out versus someone who just doesn't embody their truth. You know, they're not truthful to themselves, so then they can't be truthful to others. So again, you have to take what resonates, but I think this 8th house for you is regarding this death of these past situations that you had been in regarding love, and you're wanting something new. So some of you might be there yet, or some of you might not. It might just be something you are still working on to achieve to fill your own cup. Okay, the 9th house, travel, education. You have the 5 of Wands. Okay, and I was hearing no shortcuts just now. 8 of Wands. So if this relates, if you are trying to do any type of schooling or education, and education doesn't have to mean college. I mean, if you are trying to go to be certified or learn anything, I mean, this could even be self-taught. You know, with this no shortcuts, it's possible that maybe some of you could be like a more new interest or something you've had grown in passion with this 8 of Wands and you're wanting to do, but it's like you can't learn it or do it overnight. You know, there's no shortcuts. So for some reason, there's some obstacles preventing you from learning what you need to, or it's not been easy. You know, you're trying to learn. And for some of you, this could be just about the school of life, meaning that you have these lessons coming up and the only way out is through. So I think for a lot of you, this is probably regarding the life lessons, and they might be coming at you, but it's to help prepare you for the future, to get something off the ground even, is what I'm hearing. So take the battles as they come, deal with them. You know, don't, with fear, it's like you could either the fight or flight. And I'm not saying to fight. I'm saying that there's things you need to deal with. And if you keep bypassing them or trying to deter from them, it's not going to get you anywhere. So there's no shortcuts. You need to be able to, and I'm also going to pick your battles wisely. So knowing when is something you do need to fight for, when is something you do need to let go of, and I'm getting a balance as well. But yeah, there's no shortcuts, so just make sure you're learning your lessons and you're dealing with things when they come to you. And I'm getting bypassing. There's no bypassing or spiritual bypassing, because that's a real thing. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, when I say at the end of the reading, I always say love and light. And yeah, like from a spiritual standpoint, sorry, there is love and light. However, it's like we all have a shadow self. We all have, on a spiritual journey, we go through the dark night of the soul. There's, you know, and it's not to say, whenever I say darkness, I don't mean evil. So like, if, you know, whenever I talk about that, I don't mean it in that sense, but you can't just take only the positives in life. You really have, there's things that we do need to heal from. We do need to deal with, you know, life isn't always sunny and bright, and we don't get to choose what we get to, we can't just choose the good things in life, or, you know, because also sometimes those lessons or thing we need to go through does also bring us to the light, you know, transforming and turning our darkness into light. So, I'm going to keep moving on, but I hope that made sense for any of you who were like, oh, you know, if you are spiritual or you've gotten into it and you're like, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to choose to ignore this and that and the other because love and light. And it's like, well, no, like, you know, that's, it's not all the time that you could do that. Like, you know, there are going to be battles and things that you have to, and not, you know, physical battles. I hope not. I'm just saying, like, there are things that you're going to have to deal with and confront, and it's not going to always be pleasant. Healing is not this peaceful, easy process. It's not. And so, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, because for some of you, if these were life lessons, I just wanted to, if any of you were confused about, oh, well, I'm trying to be spiritual, so I'm just going to, you know, back down in all situations, or just try to keep the peace, or I'm going to avoid it. No, that's not what I, you know, like, that's a no. So I hope that makes sense for you. Okay, so the 10th house of career, 5 of Cups, and 10 of Pentacles. So why are you so sad is what I'm getting, because the 5 of Cups, this grieving, this loss, but underneath that you have the 10 of Pentacles. I am hearing claim your bounty. So I think for some of you could have accepted early defeat for something that you haven't even fully given a chance, or a chance to see how you have profited. And this doesn't just have to mean coins, the pentacles regarding your finances and money, because abundance is many things. It's not just, you know, wealth, and wealth itself isn't just about finances. So, and I'm hearing you need to let the growth happen. And for some, I was getting the question of what happened to you. So some of you could have had some setbacks, delays, or had some kind of loss and it wiped the slate clean. But now you have a chance to come back bigger and better and stronger than ever to create this prosperity. So again, take what resonates, but you do... Oh, it was interesting because I was getting some about harboring demons. And again, I don't mean real ones. I'm getting like... You know, like I said, we all have a shadow self. So there could be things that you're still needing to release and let go of to clear the pathway. Okay, and the 11th house, friends, acquaintances, social interactions, dreams, hopes, aspirations. We have the Knight of Swords and the Justice. Okay, yeah. So for any of you that do have Libra placements or on the cusp, do you want to check that out? Because especially if you have Libra in your chart, one trait of Libras is wanting to keep that peace or that harmony, or not wanting to deal with confrontation. So some of what I was talking about over here can make more sense to you if you do have Libra in your chart. If you don't, no worries. But again, like, with this Justice card, this could sometimes relate to the sign of Libra, and so that did call my attention right away. For some of you, this is more about getting within balance within yourself to move forward with your current projects, you know, your dreams, your hopes, aspirations. And I feel like with this, the Sword of Truth, but it's like you've had, some of it could have been like a long time coming, but again, it's like you've needed to come in balance and harmony within yourself. And I'm also getting make peace. So again, whether that's within yourself or make peace with certain things that have happened with others, even regardless of you, if you had that closure with them or not, because again, that's something that came up earlier in your reading. And yeah, so you need this balance before you can move forward with what you're wanting regarding your hopes and dreams, aspirations. And then for a limited view, I am getting that if this is regarding a friendship with this Knight of Swords, you know, whether male or female, there could have been some situation that could have come to some kind of resolution with them. And for some of you, I'm getting about that maybe that realization was they weren't going to change. So maybe you decided to like cut them out. And I'm not saying just to cut them out in a, like be mindful of how you do this, but some of you might have realized you needed to have more harmony and balance in your life. Like you recognized maybe it wasn't worth it. Okay, and the 12th house, the hidden, the unconscious. So we have the unknown. So you have the Ace of Swords and the 10 of Wands. Okay, so what I'm getting is before you could pick up this sword, this new beginning, you have to let go of all these burdens, the 10 of Wands. But you know, with the 10, it's always the completing of a cycle, and the Ace is always the beginning. So I think you're getting there slowly but surely, and this could be going behind the scenes, even if you don't feel like you're making progress. You are, but some of you, it's where it's like things you are needing to let go of on your end, even energetically. And you're not seeing that you are carrying this weight because of you, not because of anyone else, but because of you. And again, like take what resonates. And some of this could be stuff you still have to deal with, but some of it is, I think, regarding stuff that you're needing to free yourself of. So before you could pick up this sword, you need to let go of this. And again, I'm getting about making peace. Okay, so your bonus card, we have the Hierophant and the Four of Cups. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is about you're looking for answers, but for some of you, it's like you're not wanting to see them. You might look for answers or ask for guidance. So whether it's in a reading like this, or you're going, you know, to have a private reading, or you're asking spirit for answers or guidance. But I'm getting that a lot of you might not be wanting to hear it, or you're overlooking it because you're letting other things get in the way. Like if you were asking from signs from spirit and then you aren't really paying attention to their messages, or if you were going to someone to advice and that advice you believe could be trusted, but then again, you are bypassing it. And some of this could be about being stubborn. And for some of you, this could just be about, yeah, for some of you, you're just overlooking it for some reason. So take what resonates. Okay, so now we're going to look at, so the bottom of the deck, you did get Queen of Wands. And that's interesting because you also had the King of Wands here. There was actually a lot of court cards in this reading. So a lot of people could be in, there could be a lot of different situations with people in your life, possibly. And for some of you, I'm getting about this is gaining momentum. And again, whether you're a female or male watching Queen of Wands, it, you know, the energies, you know, like a lot of the court cards I was getting sometimes were about you yourself. And again, we did get like matches. So again, you know, take what resonates. So this could be whether you're male or female, but I'm getting more of a gaining momentum. And with Wands energy, you know, Wands goes hand in hand with the fire element. And the fire element, it's not just destructive, it's also purifying. And like I said, there were things that you did need to release that didn't serve you. Okay. So from your blessing for December 2019 or whenever you're watching, we had a blessing for support. And it's funny because this Knight of Swords and this blessing for support kind of look alike. And then we also have a blessing on your creativity. So again, going back to, for some of you, this could be if you were in a creative field, or even if you're not, but like you are trying to dream up and plan up how you want your future to look, what you're wanting to do. This is like a perfect time for you to have some divine inspiration. And for your tea leaf reading cards, we have a leg, stepping into a new experience. So again, with this Ace of Swords, but with the leg, you know, it's like you have to still put your foot forward to step into that new experience, right? We have I, psychic ability, trust your intuition. So definitely for any of like the people that, if there was someone you didn't trust, definitely making sure that you are wise, you know, like you've taken that wisdom from those situations and from that person or persons, and knowing, okay, this, you know, this isn't a situation I want to be in, because I know something's not right there. I'm not going to be swindled again. Okay, we have wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. And vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. So this could be read two different ways is what I'm getting. So you're just going to have to apply it to your situation. Some of you have not let go of this past energy. So it's not that there is a vulture in your life. It's that it's more regarding this feeling that someone is trying to like wedge in there or try to create chaos or drama, but it's maybe from the past, and you were this wedge because you were letting maybe your anxiety or this belief that someone is against you. And then for those of you, there could be some of you that this is someone that's trying to do that and you're picking up on that. But again, you have to use that psychic ability to realize, okay, this isn't right. And then we have tree, affairs with your family. So again, like I said, for some of you, this could have, in your fourth house, there could be someone that you're communicating with. And some of you, maybe that could even be that person that you have conflict with. You know, for some of you, it was family. For some of you, it was romance. For some of you, it was friendships. So for some of you, it was within your work. So again, take what resonates, but this did come out with family. But again, some of you could just be reconnecting with a family member, or you're wanting, like I said, to, you know, put down roots. So, you know, you're looking maybe to partner up with someone, you know, settle down. Again, whatever that means for you, whether that's live together, get married, have kids, whatever you see as your life. And again, for some of you, this roots could be more rooted in your career. But again, since this talks about family, but again, like the roots don't have to necessarily mean that. Okay, and I also am getting with support. This could be like, if you're wanting to have a family, I'm getting like your team. Like you see it kind of as like, if you settle down, you want your partner, you want to be a team. If you decide to have a family, you want to be a team. Like, you know, I'm getting this, yeah, this definitely the word team being repeated. So again, take what resonates. But I will be moving on to the extended reading now. So if you'd like to purchase that, the details are in the description box below. And I thank you all for watching. And if you liked it, if you resonated, please like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel, The Magical Maven, as well as follow me on Instagram, The Magical Maven. And I send you all love and light. Bye.